All right, so next video, man, we have Coach Mike Minter talking about the game, man. So we're gonna watch and see what he had to say about it, man. And let me say this: shout out to Campbell for a hard-fought game, dog. They really stepped it up this game, man. So shout out to him. So I want to hear what he had to say about this.
What a game. That's what I can say. Great effort, I thought, by both football teams. The defense of both teams came out to play. A lot of hitting going on out there. I thought they had a great, trick play coming out of the third quarter that really separated the game was that play. But, when you make top 10 team go to the trick bags, you're playing some hell of a defense. And that's, great job by Coach Prime, man, to come into this program and in 2 years turn it into what it is today. Just great to be able to come here and play at homecoming. There was a thing that I wanted to do, and we was able to make that happen. Came up short. We played a top 25 team early in the year. We lost by 16. We played a top 10 team today on the road, and we lost by 8. We're getting to where we need to get to, because these games like this is how it is in the playoffs, and we'll be in the playoffs. With that, any questions?
I like that. Sound good.
Go for it on a fake punt?
Well, it's really film work, right? And you see a certain look that you like, and you go for that. And he was open. It wasn't like he wasn't open, right? The punter did he's a punter, not a quarterback, right? He had to find him. And but it was a deal where we saw in film that we thought we can take advantage of that.
Coaches.
And in that situation, look, you are a head coach, and you are a former NFL player, so I can never tell you what you can and can't do. But in that situation, bro, I don't know who in their right mind would ever come up with that situation and say, we're going to do it on 4th and 25. On our own side of the 50, and a few of the starters on defense are still on the punt return team. So, it ain't like it's all backups in there. No, some of the starters are still in the game at that point still. You know what I'm saying? You can't, that's, I don't know. That was a real bogus call that he made, man. But that was a real bonehead play, but they still played a hell of a game outside of that. That was crazy, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was that was one of the more crazier things I ever saw.
First half, Jackson State had not converted on the third down. They had converted on 4th down, but not on 3rd down. What was the difference in between the first half and what you saw in the second half?
Well, I mean, if you look at the second half, they just got rolling, man. That third quarter seemed like it was forever, and they had to win because we wanted to win in the fourth quarter, and they really took advantage of that in the third quarter. So I think most of what they was getting done was in that third quarter. But again, you look at the 7 points, it was a rollout, bootleg, throwback, and that's what it was. So other than that, I thought they was constantly moving the ball, but they wasn't putting points on the board, and that you give yourself a chance. They did a hell of a job on defense. But I told everybody they was like the '85 Bears. They thought I was just playing. They thought I was doing some chess moves and just talking them up. Man, look, I know football. When I watch football, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I'm gonna tell you what they are. And that's this football team on defense. Because we got a heck of an offense, man, and they was in our backfield all night, all day long.
Coach specific.
And look, and that's why it was crazy about the narrative that was going out there that Jackson State ain't played nobody. And it really didn't matter who they played this year because they giving up less than 10 points a game. Now, granted, Campbell put up more points than that, but still, this team, this defense don't give up a lot at all. They don't give up a lot, and this defense is the real deal. It's been that way for 2 years now. This is the second year, and I think the defense is better this year than it was last year. You know, like, and look, even with Jackson State not having James Houston, this defensive line is really, really, really good. And I just want that narrative to just not be there anymore. Like, it really don't matter who Jackson State plays in the FCS. Like, Jackson State is the real deal on defense. And look, you got a team. Like, you got a team from another conference in the FCS telling you that. It's the real deal, man. It's real. This defense is real, man. I'm telling you.
Specifically in the second half, what did Jackson State's defensive line do to kind of slow down your rushing attack? I think you finished with less than 40 rushing yards there in the second half.
Well, they was blitzing. You know, they blitzed every rundown. And if you do that, then you got to hold up outside. And then so your receivers got to make plays to soften people up. And we wasn't able to get separation all the time in a consistent manner. So, you know, stop the run. You gotta send 8 to the box, and that's what they were doing. You know, when you first start a game, you got to feel each other out, man. So you're not going to be all aggressive at that point. They get into halftime, they kind of see how the game is going, and then they say, okay, let's kind of pressure them on first and second down on their rundowns to try to stop this run from getting started and get them behind the sticks so we can get them in third and long situations. And that's really what you saw in the second half.
Coach, can you talk about?
And with that, right, Coach Prime is so confident in his secondary that he's willing to do that. Damn near every play, damn near. Because, look, when you're playing for Coach Prime, right, he wants the best secondary possible. Front seven is cool. Like, he's going to have good pass rushers. But the thing that he's worried about the most is that cornerback position and the safety position, because he realized how important it is to have a real good secondary, because you can damn near do anything up front. You can blitz all 5, 6, or 7 guys, because as long as the cornerbacks are handling their responsibilities with their receivers, you can damn near do anything. You can stunt, you can 4-man blitz, you can 5-man blitz, you can have a quarterback spy. You can do anything with the front seven, because as long as that backhand is secured, you can do anything, man. So he realized how important it is, and he's also getting them guys ready for the next level, because there's a lot of defenses where it's going to be a lot of man-to-man coverage, and he's preparing them for that as well. You know, so Coach Prime, he knows exactly what he's doing, man. He knows how good his secondary is, and damn near do anything.
You held them 3 times inside the red zone and forced them to kick field goals, as opposed to you had to feel proud of your defense.
Well, I mean, that's really where the game is won and lost, is in the red zone. If you can make teams kick field goals or 0 points, you're going to have an opportunity to win the football game. And that's why we were still in the game, is because we made those guys kick field goals, man.
Exactly.
And you know, the game is about red zone. And, you know, defense did a heck of a job forcing Sanders to run around and try to make plays with his legs. That's what we wanted to do.
Specifically with those back here.
Yes.
David Doublestein from CBS here at Jackson. Specifically with what your defense was able to do to get the interception in the end zone and things like that. Like, what were you guys seeing in the Jackson offense that let them read it so well?
Well, again, they want to throw the football. And what we was going to do is we're going to set on the receivers and make them run the football. That's really what we wanted to do all game. That was our plan, because, you know, you put it in Shadur's hands, man, quit it. I'm going to make somebody else beat me, not that guy. And so that was the plan, okay? And, you know, we was fortunate enough to be able to make them plays in the red zone, because the field get cramped down. Now we're not worried about the deep ball, and I can set on your receivers and play routes at that point. And that's what we was able to do, and that's why every time they was down there, what was he doing? He was scrambling, he was running, because that's what he had to do in order to try to make a play.
And with Coach Mike Minter being an NFL safety, he understands that as well. So I think it was a good job by him to really force Jackson State to not only force, to have them to force them to kick field goals, but to have those 2 turnovers as well in the red zone. So, hell, look, Campbell's defense did as decent of a job as they could. You know what I'm saying? Look, it is what it is. But Jackson State and Campbell came out to play. Both defenses did. You know what I'm saying? So it was a real good job. I was impressed by them, but we knew that, look, Campbell, it wasn't no 17-point underdogs. There was no way, man. It was just how the game turned out. It kind of made you think that had they could have been. But, Campbell came out and played really hard. He played tough.
So, just as a former NFL player to, not only go up against Coach Prime, but seeing everything you do in HBCU football and just seeing, former players like yourself kind of get back to the game in this way to players, in college. What's that like, just having that?
Well, I mean, that's our purpose. I think that's why God give us the opportunity to do what we do in our history, to be able to give back. And I think that's very important that people understand that God has never given you blessings for you. He's given it for you to give back to other people. And that's what we're doing. So we able to do it through football. Teach these young men about who they are as people, so they can then grow up to be great young men and great leaders, in their community. And that's what it's all about. So it's fun to see Coach Prime doing it. It's fun to see Eddie George over there doing it. And, so many of us are getting that opportunity to make it happen.
Hey, that last line was a bar. He said, sometimes God didn't give you the blessings for you. He giving you the blessings for you to be able to bless other people. That's a bar. That's an absolute bar, man. But, shout out to Mike Minter, man. He did a good job with Campbell. But, and they said Campbell is a favorite to win the Big South. And he just might do it, man. Campbell, he got them boys good over there, man. But shout out to Campbell. All respect, his respect over here, man. Look, even though, I'm going for Jackson State. Of course, man, HBCU football. But at the end of the day, man, off the field, I know Coach Mike Minter is a good dude, man. But, yeah, that was a real good game. I was excited to see it, like I said, man. So, I think they play A&T next week. I'm going for A&T, Campbell. I'll be watching that game too. So, sorry. It's HBCU football over here. It is what it is, but respect to y'all, man. Respect to Campbell. I like y'all.